Hi again, Boomhauer, to discuss some Nova stuff as well as troop damage up and down, which I think is a really underrated aspect of your military in this game. So in the Ruins Challenge, one of the challenges on Thursday is the Nova Challenge. So I've managed to get pretty high on this. Due to some manipulation that we're going to discuss here in a minute. So let's go ahead and play it just as it is. So we'll look at my stats, and a lot of them are garbage because I've prioritized troop damage up and down, which, as we're going to discuss later, is good for everything in this game except for Nova Ruins. Troop damage up and down in general is a lot better than attack, defense, or HP. So those are important, but they're not very good for Ruins. The way to succeed in Ruins, we'll see how actually in just a minute. So let's not skip the video replay. Well, let's look at the stats. So our enemies here clearly have pretty good stats compared to us. They're missing the troop damage up and down, but their attack, defense, and HP is obviously way higher. So if we attack, notice that we have about 50,000 of each troop. So actually the first time I will skip the battle because you're going to see a casualty number here. So our casualties are just over 91,000. So I can already tell you what that means based on the troops that we had. That means that all 50,000 of our fighters died, and about 40,000 of the daredevils died. So we're running this in fighter formation, as you can see at the bottom right here. We could run it in rider or shooter, but that does not buy you anything in general. Even in the cube challenge, where all the stats are equal, I've seen no advantage to rider or shooter. The only time those are going to help you is in stuff like chips or modules, when your riders or shooters might be significantly stronger than your fighters. But fighters have really high HP and defense, so they are going to hold up pretty well on the front line, better than riders or shooters that have lower defense and HP. Okay, so aside from that, and a friend of mine keeps texting me about this stupid bowl game in college that I don't really care about. So yeah, 91,000. So let's look at the video replay and see if what I said is accurate. So we've got about 50,000 fighters up front, about 50,000 riders just behind them. So what I'm expecting is all of our fighters to be killed during this battle, and then a good chunk of our riders will be killed. But what you're going to see is that our shooters and vehicles actually hold up just fine, because our total casualty number would need to be greater than 100,000 for the enemy to even reach our shooters. They would need to fully clear the fighter and rider line before even reaching our shooters. So that's going to become critical when we talk about how to manipulate. And as you see, the battle is going to end not by all of our troops being killed, but by our morale going to zero, and then we run away. And as you can see, we have a lot of fighters and riders that got killed, and none of our shooters or vehicles got killed. So how do we improve on that? Let's go over to Nova. So based on what we just saw, let me start out with a question here. Would shooter HP help us? The answer is no, because our shooters were never in direct contact with the enemy. Only our fighters and riders were. So having our shooters gain additional HP and stand up better against the enemy would do literally nothing. Same with vehicle HP. Troop HP, on the other hand, would help because that also applies to our fighters. So the things that we want to do to minimize the casualties, we want our fighter line to hold up a lot better than it just did. So we want to increase fighter attack, fighter HP, and then maybe our troop defense and troop HP as well. Our troop damage, as I mentioned, is very good outside of Nova Ruins, but terrible inside of it. So something that doesn't help us at all is troop size. So I bought some modifying kits. Let's go ahead and reset that so we get all of our Nova back out of that. Let's take our fighter attack up to level 30. Let's just run into a quick test. Let's see, just by doing that, let's see how much we improved. Not at all, because our fighters have pretty low baseline attack, pretty high defense and HP though. So even if we boost their attack a little bit more, they're still not doing a good job dealing out damage. What we need them to do is absorb damage better. So the next thing we're going to do is boost the HP. So let's take that as high as we can go. We cannot quite max that. So let's go ahead and reset the troop damage, which again is not super helpful in this. Get our fighter HP up to level 30. Now let's see what happens. So we lost 15% troop damage basically, but our fighter line is a lot stronger. So is that going to improve? Yes, we've cut the casualties down by 20,000 now. The reason why is because the enemy has a much tougher time getting through our fighter line now and then onto the rider line. So 70,000 casualties, they've killed all 50,000 of our fighters and proceeded to kill about 21,000 of the riders. So what can we try next? So our rider attack, our shooter attack, and our vehicle attack, all three of those are also going to help. The main reason why is because all three of those troops sit behind our rider line or our fighter line, and they're just dealing damage throughout the battle. So let's just try to take these up to level, say, 20. I know vehicles are horrible, but in Nova, their boosts are basically the same as our rider and shooter attack or rider and shooter boosts. It's not like the rest of the game. And if you look at Juggernauts, if you look at Juggernauts in the vehicle depot, their base attack actually isn't that bad. It's 6 bars. Which is actually higher than Terminator base attack, except I have the Essentials, which give it that extra bar. But yeah, base vehicle attack is actually not that bad. So let's see if that improved it more. Okay, we improved about 3,000 additional casualties. And our zombie casualties are 55,000. Which means we just cleared their fighter line and we started to get into their rider line. So we want to clear their fighter line a little bit faster if possible. So let's try increasing our rider attack even more than it already is. Let's just take it up to level 30. Okay, getting close now. We're down to 66,000 and we've killed 61,000 of theirs. So that again means that we've cleared their fighter line and we're into their rider line. So we probably want to increase our shooter attack next to help break through that rider line a little bit faster. Very, very close now. Okay, so we're at 66,000 compared to 64,000. I'm trying to see by resetting some things and manipulating of how much further we can actually get in this at the moment. We do have our vehicle attack, but I think our casualties are still above 50,000, so rider HP actually would help us. But what would probably help us even more is actually this troop HP, because we're going to help our fighters stay alive by doing that, and we can also do that by increasing our troop defense. So let's do that and see if we can clear this floor now. Is this lag? Sure smells like lag. Okay, we have cleared 95. So started out with 91,000 casualties, and we ended up clearing the floor. And now we have cleared 96, and 97, and 98. And we are very, very close on this floor 99. So let's see if we can beat this so we can be done with Nova forever. What's going to help us? More troop HP, troop defense, troop attack. All good options. I'm going to start with the HP a little bit, because I think having our fighter line survive is going to be a good path for us on this. All right, we have cleared 99, and we need to clear 100, and we are not quite there, but I think we might be able to get there. So our casualties, so we're still, the dynamics of the battle are the same. Our fighter line and their fighter line are both completely cleared, and then both of us get a little bit into the rider line. So troop attack. That seems like it might help us, doesn't it? So this is going to increase our rider attack and our shooter attack, which will help us get through their fighters and shooters a little bit faster. I mean, fighters and riders a little faster. All right, is this going to be enough to get us to floor 100 victory? No. Okay, let's dump a little bit more into troop attack, because I actually do feel good about that. And can we get this? All right, we have completed the Nova Challenge forever, because there are 100 floors in there and it says trial passed. Just like with the Hero Challenge that were 120 out of 120. The Hero Challenge, by the way, also has some tricks. Do not use auto-select in there. Auto-select sucks in that. You should be selecting your own heroes based on different criteria. So we have completed the Nova Challenge. However, I just screwed up all of our Nova Mill by doing that, because our troop damage is back to level 1 now. So how can we fix that? We reset rider attack. We reset shooter attack. We reset vehicle attack. Reset fighter HP. We do not need that at level 30. What else did I really bump up? The fighter attack I really bumped up. I'm going to need to buy one, 2, 3, 4 more modifying kits, which I think should be in our shop, because I had somebody stock them. All right, let's reset. 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 Okay. And let's get this back to level 30, because this is really, really good. And our troop size, let's get that back to level 30. Oh, I did not reset this. Sorry. It's like something is not adding up there. I should have enough. Okay, the rest of these I'll do later. I wanted to get the troop damage back to level 30, though, just to emphasize something about how good damage is. So, let me show you a graphic really quick. This is a shooter that I beat in Commander Dual Conquest last week. Not very exciting, right? Except when you look at the stat comparison, notice my troop stats suck compared to this player. My troop defense is about 1,300% lower. Troop attack, troop HP, way lower. My fighter stats are, I don't know, a few thousand% lower, especially the attack. Her shooter attack is over 7,000%. So her total boosts are somewhere around, 9,500 to 10,000%. Mine are about 7,500 to 8,000%. So we're operating at a few 1,000% disadvantage. But this is me, a fighter, going against a shooter, which can make up for some of that, and our march sizes are similar as well. So, how did I beat this player? because that's a pretty large gap to make up, even if you have a troop strength on weakness there. Look at the troop damage. So my troop damage up is over 30% higher than this player's, and my troop damage taken down is also much higher. I also have some fighter essentials done, 2.5%. We can go into that another time, what essentials mean. Also, I have the Tomio Apex, so fighter damage against shooter up by 30%. And basically, all of these things add up to the fact that I have damage that's better than the opponent here is helping me make up not for like 100 or 200% stats or even 1,000% stats. These are like over 2,000% stat disadvantages. So I really hope I can emphasize how good damage is. It's something that even a lot of strong players, I don't think pay enough attention to. If we look at my fighter march here and go to boost details, this will also factor in the gold card where you can get 5% extra damage. So my troop damage up is 54%. This maxes out, I believe, at 65% in the game. So I'm missing 2 levels of my watchtower because that's at level 38 and goes up to level 40. And you gain 0.5% each level. And I'm also missing the best kind of refinement, which is glory refinement. And we are at level 15 glory refinement, which gives you 10% troop damage up and down. That is like adding a Mars and a Myers Apex to your damage. Very, very good. So you can see I upgrade everything evenly when I do glory level. I don't focus on fighter camp because I'm fighter and take that to level 40 and neglect everything else. If I get an extra 30 or 40% fighter attack, that does not much for me. If I get a few percent extra damage up and down, though, that does a lot for me. And I can tell you from experience, this weapon took me forever to get this 10% extra troop damage up. And I don't have the Myers, the Mars Apex, so I'm missing that 10% troop damage down. Also missing this Apex Hammer, which I keep trying and failing miserably on. So, bottom line of this video, for Nova Ruins, you need to manipulate things to be good for Nova Ruins. Have a strong fighter line, have a decently strong rider line, because your opponent's going to break through your fighters and get into your riders. And vice versa, you need to clear their fighter line and some of their riders. And I just showed you how we did that to get from level 94 all the way to the end of it. The first person in the state to beat it. But troop damage boost, get that to level 30 over time. Troop armor, get to level 30. This is by far the best thing in Nova Econ. After that, I did some stuff like training speed and research speed and some other stuff. I'm starting to work on march speed. Troop armor, though, way better than anything else here. I would recommend just resetting everything else to level 1 or level 10 or something really low and just getting troop armor done as fast as you can. It's really good. So, Nova troop damage up and down, glory refinement. Try to get some good Apex weapons. I know that's much easier said than done. I've had my share of frustrations with those, absolutely. But hopefully you can see the troop damage makes a huge difference, make up for thousands of percents of stats difference. And I also showed you here how to manipulate Nova to clear it before you probably should.